Hi, thanks for joining me for another edition of the Bell Performance Video Blog. I'm Eric Bjornstad with Bell. Today we're going to talk about the question, where do the fuel microbes go? Okay. We at Bell, we like to attend trade shows, including those centered on power generation. Every year they have the Power Gen show. This past year, for the past 3 or 4 years, it's actually been right here in our hometown of Orlando. So we're at the Orlando Power Gen show, and besides power generation company, there's a lot of generator people because generators, backup generators and auxiliary systems are an important part of the whole power generation industry. It's an important support industry, and we have some associates out in California that they do service on these types of machines. They do service on the stored fuels that these auxiliary backup generation systems use, and they were talking about a competitive company that was telling power generation companies and stored fuel users that if they have a microbial problem in their fuel tank, if they treat their fuel, if they, being this competitive company, treats their fuel, that they can actually make those fuel microbes disappear, which was news to us because I remember thinking, wow, they just brought alchemy into the 21st century. Because, I mean, look, this is what actually happens with this kind of thing. You get stored fuel, you get water in the fuel, you get a development of microbial problems. That's pretty much standard all across the country. Hundreds of thousands of companies have this problem. So you put a biocide in the stored fuel, and it kills all of the microbes. Now, at this point, you have dead microbes in your fuel. Now, those dead microbes do not just disappear. They have to go somewhere. And standard protocol has always been that you have to expect that you will have to filter the fuel once you're done killing the microbes. So you kill the microbes, important step number one. Important step number two is that you run it through your normal filtration system, or you have a fuel filtering company come and clean that fuel. They filter all the dead microbes out, and what you're left with is viable fuel that you can use for what you need it to do. This company was claiming that they put a fuel additive in there, or a fuel treatment, biocide even, and it would actually make those, not only kill those, it would dissolve them, make them disappear, which is absolute hocus pocus nonsense. When you look a little bit more closely at what this company is doing, they don't just treat the fuel. What they've actually got is a filtration system, and what they really want these companies to do is to let them add a biocide treatment to this stored fuel, kill the microbes, and then run it through their system. Well, what that sounds an awful lot like is not somebody who has a revolutionary biocide that will cause you not to have to filter your fuel. They're just telling you, hey, we'll do exactly what everybody else is doing, but we won't call it that. And that's fine. They're proposing to do exactly what you're supposed to do, but that begs the question, why aren't they just being upfront and honest about what they're doing? Why do they have to obfuscate or, do all this hocus pocus talk like they're going to add something magical to the fuel and it's just going to make the dead microbes disappear and it's going to solve all of the company's problems? So, if you've got stored fuel and if you've got a microbe problem, which if you've got stored fuel, you probably do, you're going to have to expect that, first of all, you have to treat it with a biocide, and then you're going to have to filter that fuel. There's really no way around it. But it's a lot better, it's a lot more palatable when you expect to have to do that, and when you can plan for that expense, rather than being told by somebody that you just dump some magic bottle in your stored fuel tank and all the microbes just disappear without filtration. That's not good advertising, and that gives the industry a very bad name. So thanks for joining me. I am Eric with Bell Performance, and if you like this, then visit our website, bellperformance.com, wefixfuel.com. Thanks for joining me. See you next time. Bye-bye.